Adam and his wife, Emily, a pretty blonde with long legs that looked like they could straddle him several times over, had decided to spend a long summer evening in front of the television. They had just started their vacation yesterday and had a whole month of carefree relaxation ahead of them. The only thing that was frustrating for Emily was that she hadn't thought to organize a trip to the beach in advance. Every year, they vacationed at the same family cabin on the Florida coast, where the owners were incredibly kind and hospitable, making it the most welcoming vacation home in the world. Despite their young age, Emily and her husband were still drawn to familiar places, a love instilled in them by their parents, who believed there was nothing better than vacationing in their own country. There was nothing worth watching on television, and out of boredom, Adam began to gently knead his wife's shoulders, hoping it would lead somewhere. But they were interrupted by the doorbell ringing. They jumped up, nearly falling off the narrow couch. Only Emily's mother, Donna, or just Mom as she preferred to be called, could ring the doorbell like that. And indeed, it was her. 5 seconds later, Donna was already in the room, eager to share the happy news. But because she had rushed in so quickly, she was out of breath and asked for a glass of water first. While Emily followed him into the kitchen, Adam squinted his eyes so Donna wouldn't notice and admired her figure, barely covered by the short top and tight leggings. Donna always dressed like this in hot weather and saw nothing wrong with it. She was still young in body and mind. She had often advised her daughter to dress the same way, and it was hard to argue with her. Her figure was truly stunning. Adam couldn't help but notice the similarities between Donna's figure and his own mother, whom he greatly admired. In fact, the image of his mother often inspired him in bed with Emily. Whenever she asked him for a second or third round, he would think of his mother, and suddenly he would have all the energy he needed. Emily was amazed at Adam's stamina. She didn't know where he drew his strength from. It might have been a little strange for Adam to fantasize about his mother, but it made him feel like a real macho man after all. His mother was just another woman. Soon, Emily returned with the water. Following her mother's example, she walked around the house in her underwear during the heat wave, which pleased Adam because he hated having so many layers of clothes on. He looked longingly at his wife, whom he hadn't had the chance to enjoy to the fullest just a few minutes ago. But that was beside the point. There was still a long night ahead of him. Taking a sip of her glass, Donna finally shared her wonderful news. "Dear children," she began, "I heard from Emily that your vacation plans are being thwarted because you're stuck here in this cramped apartment. I wouldn't be a good mother if I didn't use all my connections to get us 3 places for us in our favorite cabin. We're leaving tomorrow, so I thought I'd join you so you won't be bored." Emily and Adam's joy knew no bounds. They rushed to hug and kiss Donna, grateful for her resourcefulness. Thanks to her, they wouldn't be stuck in front of the TV for the entire vacation. Instead, they would soon be enjoying the gentle waves and hot southern sun. Donna had other good news. In addition to renting the cabin, she'd also bought a separate compartment on the train for them, buying out all the seats so they could travel in comfort. To celebrate, Adam invited his mother-in-law to the best restaurant in town, where they toasted the start of their vacation. But they didn't stay up late. They had an early rise in the morning. The young couple was so excited about the trip that they couldn't sleep and arrived at the station an hour before the train. But as the minutes passed, Donna was still nowhere to be seen. It turned out she had trouble sleeping too, and had tried to go to the station early in the morning, but got stuck in the elevator when the power went out. She was rescued just 15 minutes before the train left. Fortunately, the station wasn't far away, and Donna ran as fast as she could. Adam and Emily saw her coming from a distance. It was impossible not to, for she ran faster than a cheetah, and her short dress was pushed up much higher than it should have been. But none of that mattered. The main thing was to catch the train. Donna made it just in time to jump on the moving train. The conductor, a kind woman, allowed her to sit down despite the strict rules. Adam held out his hand and practically dragged Donna into the car. They collapsed on top of her big red suitcase, which she had abandoned in the vestibule a few minutes ago. As they fell, Donna's lush breasts pressed right up against Adam's face. She was so exhausted after the run that she couldn't get up for a while. Strangely, Adam felt no discomfort. On the contrary, he appreciated her curves up close. He noted that they were even fuller than his mother's, which he thought was to his advantage, given that he had been familiar with his mother's figure since childhood. Eventually, Donna managed to get up, and they headed to their compartment, where Emily was waiting for them. The family spent the entire day talking about their vacation plans. They discussed places they wanted to visit, restaurants they wanted to try, and how they would spend their days at the beach. Donna talked about how she couldn't wait to swim in the ocean, and Emily reminisced about their previous trips, telling funny and heartwarming stories from their past vacations. The time flew by quickly, and before they knew it, night had fallen, and it was time for bed. Emily, being the youngest, took the top bunk, and Donna and Adam took the bottom bunks. Soon everyone was asleep, but Adam couldn't stop thinking about what had happened in the lobby. He wanted more. He wanted to compare Donna's curves to his mother's. He stayed up half the night and finally made the most important decision of his life. Lying in bed, he imagined what it would be like to explore Donna in a more intimate way, and with each passing moment, his desire grew stronger. The sounds of the train rushing down the tracks seemed to echo the pounding of his heart, and he realized he could no longer ignore his desires. Donna was sleeping peacefully when suddenly she felt someone's hands on her body. She wanted to scream, but one of the hands quickly covered her mouth. Then she heard Adam whisper, "Sha, Mom, it's me. I just want to hug you and kiss you." "Is that so bad?" Donna was stunned, not knowing what to do. But she soon realized there was only one way out. Her hand slipped out from under the sheet, and soon Adam was completely at her mercy. His dream had come true. He was finally able to fully explore her, and in turn, Donna felt his power. Emily, however, was the least fortunate in the story. She was sound asleep during all that was going on. In the morning, the wise Donna left the compartment, offering the young couple some privacy. She understood more than anyone else that for peace and love in a family, happiness must be shared. Donna decided to spend some time in the dining car, giving Adam and Emily a chance to be alone. She ordered herself a cup of coffee and sat by the window, watching the scenery go by. As she sipped her coffee, she couldn't help but think about what had happened the night before. It was something she couldn't even imagine, but now it seemed almost natural. She knew she had stepped over the line, but some part of her felt a strange sense of satisfaction. She had always been proud of her figure and youthfulness of spirit, and now she realized that Adam's admiration was proof of that. Back in the compartment, Adam took the opportunity for privacy. He gently woke Emily with kisses, and soon they were in each other's arms. The excitement of their upcoming vacation, combined with the thrill of being alone, made their intimacy even more passionate. Emily had no idea of the events of the previous night, and Adam's new energy only made her love him even more. She marveled at how attentive and affectionate he was and felt incredibly lucky to have such a loving husband. After a while, Donna returned to the compartment and they all continued their journey together. The atmosphere was light and fun, the three of them sharing stories, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. Donna felt a strange sense of closeness with Adam that went beyond the usual mother-in-law and son-in-law relationship. She knew that what had happened would remain their secret, something that bound them together in a way that no one else could understand. The rest of the train ride passed in laughter, conversation, and excitement. As they got closer to their destination, they began to make plans for their first day at the cabin. Donna suggested starting with a long walk on the beach and then dinner at one of the beachside restaurants. Emily readily agreed, and Adam nodded, a smile playing on his lips. He couldn't wait to see what this vacation would bring, and he knew it had already begun in an unforgettable way. As soon as they arrived at the lodge, they were warmly greeted by their hosts, who welcomed them like old friends. The familiar sights and smells brought back fond memories, and they quickly checked into their room. They spent their first evening on the beach, admiring the sunset and enjoying each other's company. The soft sound of the waves and the warm breeze made everything around them perfect. Emily and Adam walked hand in hand, and Donna walked a few steps behind them, watching them with a smile. As they settled into bed that evening, Adam couldn't help but think about how much his life had changed in just a few days. He had always loved Emily, but now there was something more, something that made him feel even more alive. He knew that the vacation had just begun, and he was looking forward to seeing what other adventures awaited them. As he fell asleep, he felt excitement and anticipation, realizing that this was a summer he would never forget. Donna also lay awake for a while, her mind swarming with thoughts of what had happened and what might happen next. She realized that she had overstepped her bounds, but she couldn't deny the joy it gave her. She had always prided herself on being young at heart, and now she felt more alive than she had ever felt in years. She glanced over at Adam, who was already asleep, and a smile played on her lips. This was going to be a vacation unlike any other, and she was ready for whatever came next.